In the stillness before dawn, a sudden roar shatters the night. Engines ignite, one after another, as dark silhouettes lift into the sky. Ukrainian crews huddle in reinforced shelters, eyes locked on flickering monitors. Each green icon on the screen is a drone now racing toward enemy territory. But this is more than a launch. It is a test of modern war. Could hundreds of small, intelligent machines breach a fortress once thought untouchable? To understand the gamble, we have to understand the target. Deep in Russia's industrial heartland stands a weapons facility that feeds the Kremlin's most advanced missile programs. For 2 decades, it has operated largely in secrecy, producing components critical to precision strikes. Destroying it wouldn't just damage a building, it could cripple Russia's long-term firepower. That is why, on this night, Ukraine commits its largest swarm yet. The launches come from multiple hidden locations. Operators' fingers tremble as they give final confirmations. Unlike the old bomber raids of World War II, these craft are unmanned, agile, and far cheaper. But once released, they cannot be called back. Every operator knows that miscalculation, a sudden gust of wind, or the slightest technical flaw can erase years of planning. Anxiety is thick in the bunkers, but the plan must proceed. Russian radar screens begin to light up. At first, the blips look like static. One officer leans closer, debating whether he sees birds, weather, or something far worse. Misidentification could mean wasted missiles, or a catastrophic surprise. Across the border, the northern group of drones weaves through valleys and forest ridges, hugging terrain to avoid detection. For the men guiding them, every successful mile feels like surviving a gauntlet. They are fighting not only an enemy, but the land itself. Farther south, another formation enters a zone where satellites fail, and GPS turns to silence. On the monitors, coordinates vanish. For a moment, it looks like disaster. But the drones switch seamlessly to visual navigation, tracing highways and rivers from stored imagery. Inside the bunker, operators exhale sharply, watching the icons realign and move forward. What was supposed to be a death trap instead becomes proof of resilience. But not every threat comes from radars and jammers. At an eastern air base, Russian pilots scramble to intercept. Su-35 fighters scream into the air, scanning for targets too small for their radars. The pilots descend dangerously low, hunting with both sensors and eyesight. Missiles streak upward, slamming into tiny moving dots. Each launch costs millions. Each target costs only thousands. In their cockpits, frustration grows. This is a duel they cannot afford to fight for long. Meanwhile, a separate group of Ukrainian drones climbs higher, broadcasting signals that mimic cruise missiles. Russian defenses panic. Fighters are diverted. Missile batteries lock on. And for precious minutes, the real attack force is ignored. Those decoys never stood a chance. But that was the point. Ukrainian planners knew they were sacrificing them. In the bunkers, crews mark them off the screen like comrades lost in battle. Survivors from all directions converge. Separate lines of green merge into one massive cloud. Silence settles over the control rooms. No one speaks. This is the calm before the storm. Operators tally what remains. Dozens are gone, but hundreds survive. It is enough to attempt the final push. The factory now lies less than an hour ahead. Russian defenses brace, but the math is grim. Hundreds of incoming targets versus limited ammunition. At the facility, air defense crews scramble. Consoles scream with alerts, symbols multiplying faster than operators can count. They can only engage a handful at once. Missiles arc upward, some hitting, many missing. The drones scatter, shift altitude, and regroup, adapting like living organisms. Bursts of tracer fire light the sky, but the swarm presses on, using smoke and radar clutter to mask its advance. Every second, defenders run lower on ammunition. Then comes the breaking point. Autocannons blaze until barrels run dry. Blind spots open. Groups of drones surge through, diving toward their targets. Inside the bunkers, Ukrainian operators whisper quick prayers. Inside the facility, Russian crews realize the defense has collapsed. They are no longer in control of the fight. The strikes come in waves. Explosions tear through antenna arrays, production halls, and substations. Fire rages across the complex, spreading faster than emergency teams can respond. Storage tanks ignite, chemical smoke rising into the sky. For miles around, civilians see the horizon glowing red. By the time the final drones dive, the factory is no longer a factory. It is rubble and flame. Ukraine has traded tens of millions in machines for a strategic victory worth billions. And the world has witnessed a new chapter of warfare, where swarms of intelligent machines can humble even the strongest defenses.